Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all. Welcome to Swaroop IT Learning Solutions. So, this is the third part of the video series How to Configure and Manage SCPM Symantec Endpoint Protection Manager version 14.3. So, this is the part 3. So, in the part 1, we have covered what is SCPM, what are its features, what are the protection features available with the Symantec Endpoint Protection, and then how to install your SCPM along with the SQL Server database prerequisites and all. And we have installed the SCPM server on the first part. On the second part, we have seen how to manage your SCPM console as well as your licensing part. So what is there in store for the part 3? So we will practically execute the following steps in this particular video, part number 3. So first we will have an introduction to the SEP client. What is SEP client? Symantec Endpoint Protection Client. Within that, of course, we will see what is the SEP Symantec Endpoint Protection Client, and then difference between managed and unmanaged SEP client. So there are two types of SEP client you can install on any system. So what is managed, what is unmanaged SEP client, we will see it. Second part, we will see SEP client installation options, how to install those SEP clients on your end user system. So on the first segment, we will see installing an unmanaged SEP client on a standalone system. Okay. Then on a second part, through SCPM, we will see how to install the managed client through save package option. And third option is through SCPM, we will see how to install the managed client through remote push option. So option number B and C are for the managed clients. Through SCPM, we will install through save package option, and we will install through remote push options also. In real production scenario, you need to choose either one of the method, but here in this particular video I will show you both the methods, how to install the SCPM clients on that. You can choose whatever you want to in your real production environment. And the third and the last module is SCPM LiveUpdate functionalities. So once the client is installed, we need to update it with the latest virus and definition updates. So in this particular part, we will be checking and downloading SCPM latest virus definitions content through LiveUpdate. Then we will be, of course, configuring our clients to download the content from an internal LiveUpdate, that is our internal SCPM LiveUpdate server. And then we will see how to configure the LiveUpdate download schedule for the client computers. And lastly, we will be confirming that LiveUpdate completion on the end client system, whether those end client systems are actually updated with the latest updates of SCP client or antivirus or not. We will confirm that also. So this will be a bit of longer video, but it will be a practical fun, so do watch it till end. So let's start. So the first couple of slides are covering your theoretical aspects. So introduction to the SCP client. So what is SCP? Symantec Endpoint Protection Client. So the Symantec Endpoint Protection Client is a comprehensive security solution designed to protect computers from a wide range of cyber threats while maintaining the system performance. So here is a breakdown of its features based on your description. So the first feature is unified security technology. So SCP combines various security technologies under a single platform or a single application, offering integrated protection without the need for a separate security tools. This helps reduce the overhead on system resources and simplifies management for users and administrators. This is the first feature. Second feature is local disk scanning and file access monitoring. So SCP continuously scans the local hard disk and monitors file access to detect potential threats. By analyzing files as they are accessed, it can identify malicious behavior in real time and take action before any harm occurs. The third feature is threat blocking. So if SEP detects a potential threat, it immediately blocks unnecessary file or system access to prevent the threat from spreading or causing further damage. So this is crucial to ensure that the system remains protected even in the event of an attack. Fourth feature is intrusion prevention system, that is IPS. So SEP provides protection against network related threats through its intrusion prevention system, IPS, which detects and blocks malicious network traffics aimed at exploiting vulnerabilities. So this adds an additional layer of defense, especially against the external threats attempting to breach the system. Next feature is proactive threat scanning. So on Windows computers, SEP includes proactive threat scanning that looks for signs of potential security risk even before they are fully realized. So this helps in identifying emerging threats early and taking preventive actions. And the last feature is personal firewall capabilities. For Windows systems, SEP includes a personal firewall that monitors inbound and outbound network traffic. So this helps prevent unauthorized access to the computer by filtering network communication based on predetermined security rules. So these are some of the very basic and very advanced type of features which Symantec Endpoint Protection Client offers you. So in summary, by integrating those various security features, SEP Client aims to offer robust protection against a wide range of threats including malware, network intrusion and unauthorized access, while ensuring minimal impact on system performance. Okay. So next is we will see now the differences between a managed and an unmanaged SEP client. So what is the difference? So I have prepared one table for underlining the difference between a managed SEP client and unmanaged SEP client. So a managed SEP client can communicate with the management SCPM server, it has to be, and downloads the client policies and settings defined by SCPM administrator. Okay. So an unmanaged client is an user managed piece of software which does not communicate with any further management server. Okay, so this is the first difference. Next, so for the managed client, end user does not have any control or rights on managed SEP client, but will have a read-only view for most of the settings. And for unmanaged client, end user is having full control over unmanaged SEP client and can define or change most of the configuration settings. Next is end users will have some admin task rights to perform, like running their own antivirus scan and manually retrieve client policies and protection updates on managed clients. Okay, so they can manually run the LiveUpdate, they can manually download the client policies in case of there is any connectivity issue between the SCPM server, automatic settings are not working, so some kind of an settings they can manually manage. But in unmanaged client, end users are having full control over all SEP client administrative tasks. Next is on managed client, SEP LiveUpdate and other update content has been controlled and pushed through SCPM server by administrator through LiveUpdate settings, GUP or over the internet. So for the managed clients, the LiveUpdate settings, the GUP settings and other settings are pushed through your SCPM server, and it is controlled by your SCPM administrator. For this is very important. And for unmanaged client, the SEP unmanaged client receives content updates directly from the internet through LiveUpdate functionalities. User can opt to run these updates manually or through automatic default options. Okay, so we will see how we can run those LiveUpdate manually once the unmanaged client is installed. Okay, so these are very basic differences between a managed client and an unmanaged client. In summary, managed client is controlled by your SCPM server and administrator. Unmanaged client is an individual software or individual SCP client which can be controlled by the end user who is actually using that particular system. Okay. So now let's move on to the actual practicals. I think we are having enough theoretical session. Let's move on to the practical steps. So the first method we will be practically executing is SCP client installation, unmanaged client installation. Okay, so method 1. So unmanaged client installation. So before going for this particular unmanaged client installation, just need to inform you that steps we have already covered is we have already created a fresh standalone virtual machine as Win10 test, and we have already installed Windows 10 Enterprise version 22H2 on the same. So I have already installed that particular VM through Hyper-V just to save our time, and I will show you that particular virtual machine over here. So this is the virtual machine, Windows 10 test. Okay, and it is just a raw machine. It has just installed a fresh Windows 10 Enterprise version 22H2 and nothing apart from it. Okay, so this is a fresh machine. So now finally let's move on to the step 1. So first we need to copy the SCP client version software on our Windows 10 test machine. So for this particular lab purpose I will be using version 14.3 RU9, that is Symantec Endpoint Protection Client version 14.3 release update number 9. So I will copy it locally on my Windows 10 test system. So I'm just copying this particular software now. So we have copied our software, and if I'm double clicking it, it will show me the installable files and all those folders. So next step is we need to execute setup.exe as usual from the SAP client installation source. So I'll go back and I will run the setup.exe. If the exe is not visible, let's enable this option so that you can have a better view. So setup.exe, I'm double clicking on it, say yes. So it will obviously launch our SAP unmanaged client installation wizard. By the time it is launching, let's move on to the next step. So on SAP client installation wizard welcome page, click next. It's taking a bit time. Anyways, it has launched. Now on the welcome page I don't have to do anything, so I will say next. Step number 4. So on license agreement page, click I accept and click next. So I will accept license agreement, next. Step number 5. So on setup type page, click custom and click next. So if you are selecting typical, so it will install your typical client settings, but we need to see what kind of settings are available for installation. So we will click on custom and we will see next. So next step is on installation type page, click standard client and click next. So there are 3 types of clients which are available for installation. One is standard client, so it installs the complete protection that uses virus and spyware definitions. Next is embedded client, installs protection with size, operations and embedded devices and VDI clients. And next is dark network client, installs complete protection that includes local virus spyware definition the client. So we require a standard client which will be like a full installation option. So I will choose standard client. I will say next. Next step is on custom setup page, select your preferable features or leave the default features selected and click next. So these are all the features available with your standard clients. So basically it is actually already selected with the 80% features. Only 2 features are not selected: Outlook scanner and application hardening. So if you are absolutely sure that you need to use this Outlook scanner, that means your organization is using Outlook for the mail communication and you are requiring those mails also to be protected, so you can use this Outlook scanner option. And application hardening also, if you require that feature, that also you can select. As of now I'm not selecting those 2 ones because this is a lab setup or kind of a thing. In production scenario you can choose your preferable options. So as of now I'm leaving these default options and I will say next. Next step is on protection options page, select your preferable options and click next. So on this page also there are 2 options, whether we need to enable the auto protect, and this is mandatory because of course you need to auto protect your systems after the installation. So leave this particular option enable. Second is by default it is selected run LiveUpdate, but normally I am deselecting it. Why? I will tell you. Because this particular system Windows 10 as of now it is not having an internet access. So if I am selecting this as of now, immediately after the installation it will try to run the LiveUpdate and it will fail. I don't want that to happen, so I am deselecting as of now. Later on, once this installation completes, once I am restarting this system, I will enable the internet access and I can run the LiveUpdate manually for the first time. Okay, so as of now I am deselecting. This is my preferable option. If your system is already having internet, if you want to run the LiveUpdate immediately, it's up to you. So it doesn't make any difference. You can select this option or deselect, but the first option is necessary, enable mode. So as of now I'm selecting the first option, deselecting the second one. I will say next. Next option is for the data submission to the Symantec support. So on file reputation and data submission page, select your preferable option and click next. So as of now I'm deselecting this one because I don't want to submit anything to Symantec. I will say next. Next is on ready to install the program page, select your data collection installation options and click install. So again, data collection and installation options, I don't want this to be selected as of now. This is my choice. You can select as per your requirement. I will deselect it and finally I will say install. Okay, so it will start installing my SEP standard client, unmanaged client on my standalone machine. Okay, so let's move on to the step. So monitor the SEP client 14.3 RU9 for this case installation. So you can see it has started to install the unmanaged client on a standalone machine. It's a simple installation. By the time it is installing, we will move on to the next step. So next is click finish to complete the SEP client installation wizard and restart Windows 10 test VM system once. Restart is mandatory, it will automatically ask. So let this installation finish. It will finish in a minute or so. So the installation wizard completed, and if I'm maximizing this for a better view, so I will say finish over here, and you can see it is asking for a restart. So either you can schedule the restart after 5 minutes or 15-30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever, or you can restart straight away. So I am restarting it straight away. Okay, so I will say restart now. Yes. By the time it is restarting, let's move on to the next step. So once restarted, log on to Windows 10 test system with local admin. So I'm just logging on to my Windows 10 test standalone machine with the local admin account. Next is click on SEP client icon from task manager's left corner to open the SEP client console. Remember, this is an unmanaged client. Okay, so this is an individual SEP client. So here I can see the SEP client icon. I will double click on it. Say yes. It will open my SEP client console. Okay, let's move on to the next step. So now we need to provide the internet access to Windows 10 test system and click on LiveUpdate. So you can see over here it is already giving us one warning that your virus and spyware definitions are missing or corrupted. It is showing some old date like 20 June 2024. Now today is 6th December. So you can see over here it requires to have a live update session, or it requires to update its virus and definition files. So I need to give the internet access to this particular machine. So what I will do is I first close, let this open, no problem. I will go to file and settings to this VM, and in the second network adapter I will give internet access. You can see it has immediately came. So now I will go back here, and it will take 1 or 2 minutes to highlight this option, because the first time it will take that much time. Once this option is highlighted, we will run the live update session. So you can see it is again and again giving the error, virus protection is out of date and all. Okay, let this option, see now it is highlighted now. Okay, so let's move on to our next step. We need to click on live update. Okay, so I will click on live update, and it will start my live update session. Sorry. So you can see over here it is connecting to the live update server, which is Symantec live update server through internet. Okay. So now you can see the live update session has started and it is downloading the update packages. And now it will finish our live update setting in a minute or two. So it is saying session summary 11 updates available, 11 updates installed, live update session is complete. Right? So live update session is completed. So we will click on close once the live update session completes. And now we will note down that SEP client is showing updated now. So our SEP client, as you can see over here, it is showing the latest date, virus definitions, and it is showing updated. Okay, so this completes our unmanaged client installation. So let's move on to the next section. Now we will see the next section, that is our SEP client installation method 2 through SCPM server save package option. Now we have created one standalone machine and we have installed one unmanaged client on that one. Now we will come back to our lab setup where we have created two client systems, if you remember in the previous parts, Windows 10 and Windows 11. So we will install our SEP managed clients on those two machines through two options. First option is save package and second option is remote push. I will try to incorporate both the options for you through this video. I will take a backup of my VM settings and I will try to install the client through save package first and then through remote push. Just to make you guys aware that both the options I will be showing through video by taking my Hyper-V VM backups, just to make you more understood for both the options, so that you can choose the best option for your environment, for your production requirements. Okay, so let's start with the first option, that is save package. Okay, so the next step for save packages, through SCPM system C drive, create a new folder called SEP package. So I will go back to my SCPM server now, and on my C drive I will create one folder called SCPM package. In the real production scenario, you can create this folder onto your secondary partitions, but for this lab purpose I am just creating on my C drive. Okay, so SCP package, so sorry, I have given SCPM package, it doesn't make any difference, but still SCP package. Okay, next step is we need to share this SCP package folder with everyone read access and our SSM admin full access. Okay, so I will share this package, sorry, first folder. We have not copied the package yet. So I will go to sharing, advanced sharing, share this folder, permissions. By default it is taking everyone and read access, this is fine. I will add one more account as SCM admin, which is our domain account. I will say, and I will say okay, apply, OK, apply, OK, close. Next step is through main SEPM console, click on help and getting started page. So we need to log into our console first. So I'll close this and I will go to this option. If you remember, in the second part we have just targeted this particular SEPM manager in a task manager. So I will give you the username and password. So we have logged into our SEPM console and it is automatically launching the getting started page also. In case if it is not launched, let's say I will just show you. So I'm closing this and let's say you want to relaunch it. So you can go to the help and you can click on getting started page. So here also it will launch. Okay. So that's why I've just written in the PPT that you can launch it through help getting started. Next step is through getting started page, click on install the client software on your computer's option. So through getting started, there is an option called install the client software on your computer. So I will click on that. Okay, so it will open one new client deployment wizard. We will see step by step what option we need to select, how to go about it. Okay. So in the client deployment wizard, select new package deployment and next. So since we are creating a new package, I will select this particular new package deployment and I will say next. Next step is select SEPM client deployment options as follows. So what all options we need to select? In the install packages, we need to select the Windows endpoint protection because we are installing the SEP client on Windows systems. Okay, so install packages. If I'm clicking on this, you can see over here there is a package for Mac also and for Linux systems also, but as of now we need to install on Windows, so I will select this option. Okay. Next option, install the feature set as a full protection. So install the feature sets as a full protection one. If I am clicking on this, it will show me the other options like full protection for servers, basic protection for servers and protection for Active Directory. What is the difference between those options? Full protection plan means for Windows client systems like Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows 7 also, or any Windows client system. Full protection for server means server operating systems like Windows Server 2016, 2019, 2022, like that. Basic protection means this is only for server only, but this is the full protection and this is the basic protection. And the last option is for Active Directory. If you are using Active Directory, you can use the LDAP protection also through this option. As of now, we are installing our client on Windows client systems, that is Windows 10 and Windows 11. So I am selecting the first option, full protection for clients. Okay. And the last option is install setting, that is default or standard. So default or standard client installation. If you remember, we have seen the other two options in the unmanaged client installation also, right? But we need to install the full client, so we will select default standard client installation for Windows. Okay. So once these selections are made, we need to click the next. So I will say next. So next option is we need to select that which type of client installation we will be going for. So as I said, this is the method number 2, that is save package. So we will select the same option, select save package option and click next. We will see the remote push in the upcoming module, so don't worry about it, but as of now we will be doing a save package. So save package already selected, I will say next. So next is select the single.exe, that is the default option, and click browse. So single.exe already selected, I will say browse. See, now we need to give the folder path as C drive SEP package and click OK next. Okay, so here I need to give the local path. You can give the network path also, you can give the storage path also, but as of now I am giving the local path from here. So I will go to my C drive, C drive SEP package. You can see over here this path we need to give, C drive SEP package. Okay, and now I will say next. So I have just put a note, don't provide the export folder path as network share path as of now, but as a local folder path. So that's fine. So next is on ready to save the package page, review the SEP package properties and click next. So here the new computers will join the group, whatever the default group, and we'll have the following client features installed. So since we have selected the standard client, it is already integrating with all the features of SEP client, full installation. So it is requiring core files, virus definition, download protection, and all those features are included in our SEP client. Okay, and I will say next. So now it is creating the installation files. This will take few minutes. Okay, so it is copying our package to our C drive SEP package folder. So the custom install files have been created in the C SEP package folder. So we have already done this step, we have already reviewed, the installation package is getting created, and then finally we need to click finish on client deployment wizard completion window. So I will say finish. So this is a package creation. The first step is completed. Next step is, so through Windows 10 CL system, access the network path as SCPM and SCP package, and my company default group Win64-bit Symantec Endpoint Protection version English. So now let me go to one of our client system, and if you remember, we have already shared that particular folder. So I will just put the host name SCPM. You can see over here SCP package is visible. So I will say SCP package, and it has created the packages for both architecture 32-bit as well as 64-bit. But my Windows 10, this operating system is 64-bit. So I will go to Win64-bit, and inside that it has created this particular folder with English language. I will go inside it. So next step is launch the setup.exe through above mentioned path. So I will double click on it. say yes. It will start the installation. By the time it is installing, let's see. So we need to monitor the SAP client installation process. It will just take 4 to 5 minutes, and you can see the installation is automated. It is not asking us for any inputs because it is been managed by our SCPM server. If you make a note of this difference, in the unmanaged client all the inputs we need to give because it's a manual installation. It is a unmanaged client. Since this is a managed client, all the settings are predefined by SCPM server, and it is just installing with all those automated settings. By the time it is installing, let's see. So next step is, after some time, review that SAP client is installed through Task Manager's menu. We will review that. Wait. And you can see over here, let's see. See over here, the Symantec Endpoint Protection is now installed. Next is restart Windows 10 CL system has been asked by SAP client installation process. So it will automatically ask. Let's wait for that for a minute. And you can see over here the Symantec Endpoint Protection. It is giving us some kind of an messages. Virus protection is out of date and all these things. And finally it is asking us for the restart. Okay, so as this stated, we need to restart our Windows 10 CL system, right? So I will say restart now. Yes. By the time it is restarting, let's see what will be our next step. So after restarting the Windows 10 CL system, review SCP client by double clicking on the SCP client icon on Task Manager, and we will also repeat those steps on other machines also, but that is a further step. Let's see after the restart. So our Windows 10 CL system has been restarted after the SCP client installation. So I am just logging in with our domain account. Now let's move on to the next step. So after restarting, we need to review the SCP client by double clicking on SCP client icon on Task Manager. So here is our SCP client, and you can see the SCP client is installed, but it is giving us one warning that virus definitions are missing or corrupted. Okay, so that's okay. We'll see how to fix that. next step is we need to repeat all those steps. We have installed the client through our SEP package. We need to repeat these steps on REST systems. So we do have another 3 systems, that is your Windows 2022 DC, and then Windows 11 CL and SEPM server also. So we need to repeat those steps on those 3 systems also. So what I'm doing is I'm repeating these steps, and I will come back to you once the SEP client is installed on all 3 systems. Okay, so as of now I'm just pausing this video over here. I will come back once all the 4 systems are equipped with the SEP client. So first I will go to Windows 11 CL system, and let me pause this video. Till the time I am repeating those installation steps on rest of the systems. So we have installed our SEP client through SEP package option on all the 4 machines. So you can see I am on Windows 11 CL machine, and your Symantec Endpoint Protection client is installed. Okay, same thing for other 3 machines also. Let me just show you other machines also. This is Win 10 CL, we have already seen it before, and then other 2 machines also I will show you. This is my SEPM. On this machine also client is installed. Okay, and the last machine is our Win 2022 DC. Okay, so on this machine also we have installed our SEP client. Now 2 things to note down over here. We have installed this SEP client manually through save package option, because we have saved our package in a particular network share, and from there I have run this single.exe, and then your SEP client got installed. Now this manual option I just want to show you. It is a useful option, but with very less competency. Means if you are having very less clients, then only this option might be helpful. Suppose you are having 500 clients, 1000 clients, then you cannot run the SEP client installation wizard manually on 1000 clients. That will be a time consuming task. So what will be our best option for that scenario? So best option for that scenario is a remote push, where you will configure a remote push and the clients will get installed on the dedicated client systems automatically. Okay, so we will see that option. Now what I am doing is I am reverting my lab setup to the point where there is no client installed. This is the one point I want to show you. So this particular lab is okay. I am now reverting back to my lab setup status where there are no clients installed, and then we will again install SEP client, but now with the remote push option. Okay, so I am just pausing this video for 5 minutes so that I can revert to my lab setup again with no clients, and then we will proceed with the next step. So welcome back. So I have recopied the earlier status of my lab setup where there was no client installed on any of the system, although the SEPM, that is Symantec Endpoint Protection Manager software has been installed, and our console is also installed. So I have reverted back to that particular status. Now let's move on to the next step. Now, as I said earlier, we have seen one option of installing our SEP client, that is a save package, but that is useful only when very few systems are required to have SEP client, and that is a manual option. Now we will see the remote push option, which is actually useful where the number of client systems are more. So let's move on to the next step. So step number 33, so log into SCPM console through SCCM admin account. So I'm going back to my SCPM machine. Although I can log in through web console, I can log in through remote system, but as of now I'm just logging directly from the SCPM system, and that is on local console. Okay, I'm just opening it. Okay, so next step is through getting started page. Click on install client software on computers. So it is the same option we need to click. Previously also we have clicked the same option, install the client software on your computers. Next step is, now we have to change our option in the client deployment wizard. Select deployment type page, select new package deployment, and next. So it's the same option what we need to select new package, because we have not created any existing package. So new package deployment. So next. In the client deployment wizard, select group and install feature sets page. Select or verify the default options and click next. So here we don't have to change anything because we need to install the SEP client on Windows systems. So we have seen this particular option before also. So I'm selecting the default option Windows and next. So what are the options available for the install packages? As I said, we are having Windows, we are having Mac, we are having Linux systems also. And then what are the install settings? Full protection for clients, then full protection for servers, full basic protection for servers, and protection for Active Directory. So all those options I have shown you in the previous module also, but just to repeat this one. So default standard client installation setting I'm selecting, but some other options are also there. Okay, so I will say next over here. And now comes the difference. So previously we have selected the save package option that we have already executed in the previous model. Now we have to select the remote push option. Okay, so remote push means it will automatically push our client package, SEP client package, through network. So we have to select the second option as remote push, and I will say next. So now it will detect my network systems, but as of now it is unable to do so automatically. So we will make it manually. No problem for that. Let's see what will be our next step. So in the client deployment wizard, computer selection page, click find computers and enter the network IP address range and click OK. So I will go here, I will go back one more time, remote push. Next I will go to search network and I will click on find computers. Now here it is giving us option for the IP address range and computer name or IP address. So we don't want to push this client on a single machine, so this option is not useful for us. So I can give a network range over here. So whichever machines are part of this network range, it will automatically take those many systems. So I'm just giving the network range as 10.1.1 to 10.1.1.254 and I will say OK. Now it should come with the list of available machines which are online within that IP address range. Okay, and now you can see these many machines it has found. So apart from Win10 CLF, that is my personal machine, other machines are required to have a SEP client. So those are the part of the machines of our lab setup, right? So these many machines we will select. So let's go back to our step. So in the SCPM console, it will automatically search for the computers in available network subnet range and will list down the available computers in left panel that we have already seen, right? Now select the intended systems and click on right arrow icon to add those ones for SCP client remote push installation. So I'm going back to my machine. So I'm selecting only those machines which are intended for this lab setup. So I'm selecting 4 machines. These are the 4 machines which are part of our lab setup. This is my personal machine, this is my base machine. I don't want that one. And I will click on the right hand side machine, this thing, to add it. Now it is asking me for the username and password to add those machines. So provide the SCCM admin account credentials and click OK. Now why do we require SCCM admin? Because SCCM admin is a domain account, it's a domain administrator account, and it is common account for all those machines, the ones which we have selected. So it is the best master account to add these machines to our remote push installation, SCP client remote push installation. Okay, so I have given the username SCCM admin, password is the password of SCCM admin account, and domain is sccmcplab.local. Let's see if it is getting added. Now you can see some errors. Okay, I have found all those errors in the when I was preparing the lab setup or when I was preparing the PPT also. So I have noted down. Let's learn something from this error. So I know this error will come. So I have already pasted it in our PPT. Okay. So note down the error and click OK. So that's fine. We have noted down the error. Now what this error is all about. Okay. The Windows Remote Registry Service is running on client computers and you enter the correct administrator credential. So we are sure about this particular point. I have entered the correct credentials, but the first point is important. The Windows Remote Registry Service should be running on client computers. So let's see what will be our resolution step. So next step is on Windows 10 CL system, logged on with SCCM admin. We have already logged on. Open services console. So I will go back to my Windows 12 system. It is already logged in with SCCM admin, so I will open the services console. So services console has been opened on Windows 10 system. Let's move on to our next step. Select the remote registry service, right click, go to properties, make it automatic, apply and start the service and say OK. So make sure the service status is running at the end of the above step. So we need to make this remote registry service as automatic. We need to start it and keep it running. So let's go back to our Windows 10 system. And now we will go to the remote registry. So this is the service which is by default disabled. So first I will go to the properties, I will make it automatic, apply, and once this is done, the start option is now highlighted. I will say start. Okay, now the remote registry service is running. Okay, just say OK, close this. Next step is we need to repeat this particular step number 42 and 43, both the steps, on rest of the machines. So I will go back to Windows 11 CL. It is already logged in with SCCM admin. I will open the services console. I will go to remote registry, properties, make it enabled, automatic, apply, that means enable, click on start and it is running. Just say OK, close this, and same step we need to repeat on SEPM as well as WinDC machine. This error is already there. I will say OK for this as of now. Let's go to services, remote registry. Here it is in automatic already. I will say start. OK, close this, and now on the last machine I need to repeat this step, which is on Win 2022 DC machine. Same step. Remote registry, automatic, start. Okay. So on all 4 machines we have enabled our remote registry service and we have made it as a running status also. Okay. Now let's move on to the next step. Now come back to your SCPM console and client remote push deployment wizard and computer selection page and repeat steps from to add the computers for SEP client remote push installation again. So I will go back to my SCPM machine here, and now I will try to add again. Again it will ask me for username password that we have already defined, and let's see. Now you can see these machines are now added on the right hand side. These 2 machines, as I said, it is non-intended machines, so leave those ones. these machines are part of our lab setup. So all the 4 machines have been added now. Now what is that error is all about? I am just repeating, your remote registry service should be up and running status, then only your SEP client remote push installation will trigger. Okay, let's go back to our PPT. Let's move on to the next step. So once all required computers hostnames successfully added to right corner for SEP remote push installation, click next. So now I will click on next. And now on client remote push deployment wizard, install Symantec protection client page, click send. Now once I am clicking send, it will send our SEP client package remotely on all the machines which we have selected. I will say send. So you can see over here the progress. So on first machine it has got remotely push, second machine now, third machine now, and it will go to the fourth one also. By the time it is pushing, we will see what will be our next step. So on client remote push deployment wizard deployment summary page, review the remote push client installation status and click next. So you can see over here all the 4 machines remote push installation deployment status got successful. So I will say next. The installation files were sent to the computers that you selected, right? So on client deployment wizard complete page, click finish. So finally we can click on finish. So this has done. Now next is on any available computer or all available systems out of our previous selection, confirm that SEP client is installed and asking for restart automatically, right? So you can see over here I am on SEPM and the client already got installed automatically and it is asking me for the restart. As of now I am not clicking on restart. Let me close this first and let me see on other machines also. You can see this is Win 2022 DC. On this also client got installed. Let's go on to the Win 10 CL. This also the client got installed and it is asking for the restart. And the last machine Windows 11 CL also will confirm. So you can see client got installed over here and it is asking for the restart. Okay, so this all installation has been done through remote push and automatic installation. Okay, everything is automatic. So on Windows 10 CL also the client got installed and it is asking for the restart. So I am restarting all the systems one by one and again logging in with the SSM admin account. It will take 5 minutes or so. So I am just pausing this video. Once all the machines are back online, I will come back with the next step. So welcome back. Now all the machines are back online. All the 4 machines I have installed SEP client through remote push installation, right? So now all the machines got restarted and you can see if I am double clicking on any of the one machine Windows 11 CL, the client is installed, but it is showing that your virus and spyware protection definition updates are not installed, or it is pending, right? So the same status is there for the other machines also. Let me just show you over here. This is the SCPM machine. Again, same status, virus and spyware protection definitions are missing. Okay, definitions are missing, and same for other two machines also, Win22DC and our Win10 CL system also. Okay, so all four machines, client got installed, SCP client got installed, but definitions are missing. So we will move on to our next module. This is for the live update settings. Okay, let's move on to our next step. So we have already done this. So we have restarted all the machines on all entity computers. All the computers are now back online also. Now the next step is, although the SCP client installation has been completed, it's showing virus definitions are missing warning on all the machines. So we will run live update functionality through SCPM console to rectify this warning. Okay, so let's move on to the next step. So through main SCPM console, we need to go to admin, then servers, and right click the local site, edit site properties. So before that, since we have restarted all the machines, I will close this and let me log into the SCPM console. And now let me close this getting started first. Let me see. One thing to note over here, most of the time your SCPM console is showing the false status. Okay, but you are absolutely in a, what do you say, surety state that what status your clients should be, and the same status or the correct status should be shown over here. So invariably I cannot now go for this particular status where the three clients are showing up to date. It's not the correct status. So I will just click on the refresh, and let's rectify the status in a later module, and I will show you the correct status also. Okay, so let's go back to our step over here. So through the main console, I need to click on admin option, then servers option. So let's go step by step. So I need to click on admin option and then server options. Okay, now in the server options, I need to right click on local site and edit site properties, because we are having one default site only, so that is a local site. So I will right click it, I will say edit site properties. Okay, now under the local site site properties, click live update. So there is an option called live update. I need to click on that. And under the live update tab, review each option as described below. Okay, so there are many options. So one by one I will try to explain the important options over here. So what is option number 1 or option number A? So live update source server. So edit your source servers to use default or internal live update servers. Source is equal to online Symantec live update server. Now what is this? I will just explain you. It might be confusing for you for the first time. So this is the first option, live update source servers. So edit source servers. So use the default Symantec live update server. Now what does that mean? The default live update server is something that is connected to your internet, but which option we need to select over here? The same, the default one. The source is equal to online Symantec live update server. Okay, so I don't need to change anything over here. If you are having a multiple site architecture in SEPM, and if you are having another server which can be used as a live update server, you can add it over here. Use the specified internal live update server. You can add another live update server which may be connected to internet, but we don't have multiple site architecture, so I will be using the same default option. Use the default Symantec live update server. So what does this mean? Means once I am connected to internet through this SEPM server, once this SEPM server is connected to internet, it will use my internet connectivity to download the content. It will use my default Symantec live update server. So I will say OK over here. Okay, so I don't have to change anything over here, but I just want to explain this option to you. Okay, so what I said, source is equal to online Symantec live update server. Next is option number B, disk space management for downloads, number of content revisions to keep. Okay, so 90 is a default value. Now what does that mean? See, every day Symantec is releasing your virus definition, that is a new content revision every 24 hours. So how many content revisions or how many copies you can keep for those ones? By default it is 90. If you want to preserve your disk space, because if you are making more content revisions copies, so it will take that much space. If you want to reduce this disk space, then you can reduce the number of content revisions also. As of now it is 90, so I can make it 10 also, that's not a problem. So only 10 number of revisions, means n minus 10 can be stored. But as of now I am not changing anything. In the production environment, it's you who will be deciding how many content revision copies you may be requiring to keep. Okay, so as I described, so SEPM will keep 90 content revisions, and thus it will download full LU content for first time, and SEP client will download only delta updates for next 89 cycles if matches version with the full revision content. Thus it will minimize the SEPM server's disk space requirements. So this is a very important point. 90 means a full content version is n-90, that is maximum, and next 89 cycles it will only download the delta updates, that is the minimum updates for SEP clients. So it will save your disk space accordingly. Okay, you need to understand this point very clearly. If you don't understand, please pause, reverse, and again read this line carefully. Okay, so 19 content revision, thus it will download full LU content for first time, that is n, and then SEP client will download only delta updates for next 89 cycles if it is matching your first content version with the full revision content. Thus it will minimize the SEPM server's disk space requirements. Okay, so as I said, you can keep 10, you can keep 20, whatever. 90 is default. As of now I am not changing it. So next option is download schedule. So the default option is 4 hours. So every 4 hours your LiveUpdate server will connect to internet and try to download the latest content if it is changed from the last download site. You can keep it 24 hours, you can keep it 12 hours according to your requirement. But as of now I'm not changing anything. If you want to change, so you can change through every 4 hours, then daily, then weekly, whatever the retry interval also you can specify over here. Let's say after 4 hours your download got failed for some reason, it will again retry within 15 minutes, okay, and within the 1 hour of time cycle. So as of now I'm keeping all these options default. If you want, you can change these options. So again the description is specifies the schedule for SCPM server for downloading the LiveUpdate content. So every 4 hours it will download, default option. Next is option D, platforms to download. So change the platform is equal to either a Windows or 32 or 64 bit and Mac. So as of now you can see platform to download. Change platform, I can change the platform, I can deselect the versions which I don't want. So as of now, to minimize the download content, I will deselect Mac and I will deselect Windows 32-bit, because we are only having Windows 64-bit clients installed in our lab setup, okay. But in your production environment you can choose whichever client versions you are having. So I will say OK over here, okay. So it will now show only Windows 64-bit. So again the description is specifies the client platform for which SCPM server will download LiveUpdate content. Let's move on to the next step now. So next step is content types to download. So if you click on change selection, all content options is a default one. So let's go back to our server and let's see. So content types to download, okay. So I will say change selection and you can choose what type of content your LiveUpdate session will download. So client product updates, client security patches, virus and spiral definition, sonar, history signals, then intrusion prevention, all those types of content it will download. So as of now I'm not deselecting anything. By default everything is selected. Let it be like that only, and I will say OK over here. But these are the types of live content options available for downloading. So you can minimize the download content by deselecting some of the options if you are absolutely sure that what you are deselecting, okay. So as of now I am not changing anything over here. I will say OK over here. Let's go back to our next option. So again a description specifies which type of LiveUpdate content SCPM server will download. So next option is content to download for client types. So change the selection for standard and dark network clients, the default one. So if I'm going to that particular option, so content to download for the client types. So if I'm changing the option, it will show me the two options. By default both are selected, the standard and embedded clients, that means a full version of your SCP client, and the dark network clients, the standard size content. So both options are as of now selected. I am not changing anything. If you are having Symantec endpoint protection clients which are of older versions, 12.1 and the series, you can select those legacy embedded clients also if you want to. But as of now we don't have any legacy clients installed, so I will leave this as unchecked. I will say OK. So coming back to our option, so again description specifies which type of SCP client will get LiveUpdate content, which version, okay. And next option is language to download. Of course the default language is English, so we are not changing it, but I will just show you the option over here. So languages to download, I will say change selection, and I can select whichever language I need to select apart from English. So as of now I've just clicked to show you, but I'm cancelling it and let it be only English only. Okay, so I will say OK over here. So only English language is selected. So these are all the options available for the LiveUpdate settings. So what are the source servers, what are the disk space revisions you can keep, or what is the schedule the SCPM server will retry, so every 4 hours. What are the platforms to download? We have only checked Windows 64-bit. What are the content types to download? What are the content means what are the client versions we need to download the content for, and what is the language. Okay, so we have specified all those options. So next step is click OK to complete the SCPM server's LiveUpdate settings. So I will go back to my SCPM server and I will click on OK. Okay, let's move on to the next step. So again, the description of the language option, the specify language preference for the LiveUpdate content download. Okay. Now next step is we need to configure the LiveUpdate setting for SEP clients also. Now we have configured all the options from the server side. So for the client side also we need to specify some settings. So through main SCPM console, click policies and LiveUpdate. So I will click on policies and I will click on LiveUpdate. Okay. So this is the default LiveUpdate setting policy. So under the LiveUpdate policies, LiveUpdate settings, right click LiveUpdate settings policy and select edit. So I will go back here, I will say edit. So in the LiveUpdate policy window, under Windows settings, server settings, select use a specified internal LiveUpdate server option and click add. Now what we are trying to specify over here, first let's understand the option under the Windows settings, server settings. So I'll go back here under the Windows settings, server settings. So use the default management server, use the LiveUpdate server. Now over here I need to select that which internal LiveUpdate server my client will use to download the LiveUpdate content. Okay, so I will click on use a specified internal LiveUpdate server and I will click on add over here. Next is we need to specify the details for the server. So specify internal LiveUpdate server values as shown in the sideline figure and click OK. So server name will be SCPM, description will be anything specific description, SCPM internal LiveUpdate server. URL will be the default one, HTTP, then the IP of our SCPM, then the 7070 port, and then the CLU-prod. This option is default. Username is our SSM admin and password is our SSM admin password. So I am entering the same values for internal LiveUpdate. So server name is SCPM. Description is SCPM internal LiveUpdate server URL. This is important. URL, this is important. So http://10.11.10 http://10.1.1.10 and :7070. So you need to be careful. 7070 and then / I think. So this is the port which has been used by LiveUpdate server, and then CLU-prod. So CLU-prod. Okay. And now username will be in this format: SSMCB lab /SSMadmin. Password will be our SSMadmin password. And I need to click on OK now. Okay, so our internal LiveUpdate server has been added. Okay, again I am showing you the settings. Server name is SCPM, the host name I am just giving, but you can give any name, but be specific. Description as per your understanding. URL, this is important. This should be the same format: http:// then the IP of your SCPM server or the server which you will be using as a LiveUpdate server, which is connected to your internet, then the port number 7070 and then /CLU production, and then username by which this server will get authenticate, our SSMadmin domain account, and the password. So I will say OK over here. So next step is if you are using an FTP server, that's setting also you can specify over here. So click on advanced server settings and choose your preferable option for FTP server usage, whether you are using the FTP server as an active mode, or if you don't use, you can make it as a passive mode. Okay, so I will click on advanced server settings and I will make it passive because as of now we are not using any FTP server. I will say OK over here. This is an optional step. Next step is click schedule to review or change the schedule for SEP client retries for downloading LiveUpdate content. Now we have specified the server side schedule previously. So in that schedule, when the LiveUpdate server will retry to download the content from internet. Now this schedule is for clients to retry the client update download from the SCPM LiveUpdate server. So I will click on schedule and you can see enable LiveUpdate scheduling. So it is by default every 4 hours for client. The previous one was for server. So I'm not changing anything over here. Let it be like 4 hours, or I will make it like 1 hour. What's the problem? No problem. So I will make it 1 hour. And next is in the advanced settings to review, change user control over the LiveUpdate session. So in the advanced settings, you can define how much control you want to give to the end user. So specify the type of control to grant to end user when they use LiveUpdate on client computers. So allow user to manually launch the LiveUpdate. This is the default option because sometimes if the SCPM server is having connectivity issue with your client can manually retry to download the LiveUpdate at that point of time. So let it be like that only. Allow user to modify HTTP, HTTPS or FTP settings and all. This you can deselect if you want to, and other options. So as of now, I am not changing anything. As per your production environment requirements, you can change those options. Okay, so I will make it as it is. So next option is click OK to close the LiveUpdate policy window. So these are some of the policy settings you can define over here. Okay, so we have changed this LiveUpdate settings policy. Now let's move on to the next step. On main SCPM console, note down that all the 4 clients status showing as out of date. Now this particular screenshot I have taken when I was preparing this PPT. Now let's see in this particular lab what it is showing. As I said, sometimes it is giving us a false status also. Click on home. Again it is showing us the false status because we know that the clients are not updated yet. So let it refresh the status. See, now it is showing up to date all the 4 machines, but it is not true, but it's fine. So we will see how to rectify this particular false issue and all. But as of now, all the 4 machines, if I am going back to my any of the machine just to show you, you can see over here waiting for updates. So no machine has got any update as such. And then on DC also it is showing waiting for updates. On my SC Windows 11 CL machine also waiting for updates. So this status is kind of an false positive, so I will ignore it as of now. Let's go back to our next step. So next step is we need to provide the internet access to SCPM server. So I'll go back to my SCPM server. And I will click on settings. I will click on add hardware network adapter. I will say add. I will say external. I will say apply. Okay, and I will say OK. So now the internet access has been given to my SCPM server. Now you can see the internet access has been detected on SCPM server. I will say yes, and then let's move on to the next step. So through main SCPM console, click on help getting started page to launch the menu. So from here I will again click on help and say getting started page to launch this getting started menu. The next step is on getting started page, click run LiveUpdate now option. So we need to run the options now. This is run LiveUpdate now. Now it will show me the options what all download content it will download, since we have selected all the contents in the previous settings, right? So it will download all those ones. So next is click download to start the LiveUpdate download session from SCPM console. So now we are starting to download. Okay, let's move on to the next step. monitor the LiveUpdate download status. Now we can monitor the LiveUpdate download status also from here. So what I will do is I will close this getting started page as of now, and you can see the LiveUpdate status. LiveUpdate has been launched and the download is started. So it will slowly pop up with the latest status. Okay, so let's see the status in a minute. Meantime, I will just sideline this particular LiveUpdate status, and you can see in the background now it is showing the correct status that all the 4 machines are out of date. Okay, so now this is the true status. So this is kind of an, you can say, I will not say bug, but it kind of a gap for SEPM console status, that it is not refreshing the actual status as and when in the live environment. So sometimes it will give you the false status, so make sure that you are referring to the correct status. So as of now this status is correct, all the 4 machines are not updated, that is out of date. So now let's go back to our LiveUpdate status. Since this is the first time, it is taking a bit time. No problem, let it take its time, and I'm pausing this video for a minute or 5 minutes, and then I will come back to you once this live session update is completed. So now as we can see, the LiveUpdate status is successfully downloading all the content. It is still going on. The last line is the latest one, so don't go by our own this thing that the first line is the status one. This is the latest one. It is still downloading, let it download. And now you can see the last update is LiveUpdate succeeded. So LiveUpdate finished running on site and the LiveUpdate succeeded. So this LiveUpdate content has been downloaded successfully. Session is completed successfully. Let's move on to the next step. So through SEPM main console, admin servers verify that the LiveUpdate session has been completed successfully. So this we have already verified. Okay, so LiveUpdate succeeded. Now let's move on to the next step. So step number 70, after some time, check one of any client system, Windows 11's in this case, and it should be updated with the latest SEP client updates. So let's see whether it has updated our system or not. Okay, so now we will check the LiveUpdate status. So you can see over here the green mark is there, that means our client is updated successfully, and you can see everything is green. So this is the latest date for the virus spyware protection definition updates. Okay, same thing for other machines also. So I will go to the Win 10 CL system also, and same thing, this is also been updated, and rest 2 machines also I will check. Yes, so Win 2022 DC also got updated, and the last machine is SEPM itself. You can see over here there is a green mark, so that means it is updated successfully. So all the 4 machines got updated with our LiveUpdate from the internal LiveUpdate server. Okay, and then I will now refresh the setting, and you can see all the 4 machines are showing up to date, right? So let's move on to the next step. So there is a note that if the Symantec endpoint protection client icon within the taskbar is showing the green circle, indicates that the SEP client is updated successfully with latest LiveUpdate content. So that also we have seen it. And the last step also we have seen that through main SCPM console, verify that all SCP clients are showing up to date. So this has also we have confirmed all the 4 machines are showing up to date. So thanks all for your time. This is Swaroop IT Solutions. If you like this particular video, do share it with your friends, colleagues, and do subscribe to this particular channel. Thanks all for your time again, and have a good day.